Every State of the Nation address, of course, is delivered before a joint session of Congress. That means senators and congressmen. In this case, it is the first regular session of the 18th Congress. So President Duterte is delivering his fourth SONA to open the first regular session of the 18th Congress. Earlier, we were speaking to several senators already, Senator Sherwin Gatchalian, Senator Mig Zubiri, Senator Joel Villanueva, and now we're joined by another senator, a re-electionist, Senator Grace Poe, who came in second. I'm correct, in the May 2019 election. Senator Poe, thank you very much for joining us this afternoon. Tell us first what you think or what you would like to hear from President Duterte this afternoon.
Magandang hapon po sa inyong lahat. Well, apparently what our countrymen would like to hear is how the President will be able to increase salaries. And that will only happen, of course, with increased jobs in the country. So one of the things that I hope he will discuss is probably certifying the Public Service Act as a priority measure.
Okay. Earlier, we were speaking to Cabinet Secretary Carlo Nograles, and he said that they're going to have a program that they will call Goodbye Gutom. They want to focus on the first 1,000 days of a child's life, a feeding program for the first 1,000 days, meaning parang hanggang toddler, 3 years old, and then a feeding program for the school. And the first person I thought of when I heard that was you, because I remember how you are very focused on that. No, what does that sound like to you?
I am very encouraged, and I'm actually grateful for that particular initiative of the administration. As you know, I pushed that as the main author of the first 1,000 days, as well as the national feeding program in public schools. So it's really now the challenge is in the implementation, and with the support of this administration, then I feel that it will be a success. We're investing in our future by making sure that our children are healthy. So if they're not healthy and they're hungry, they're not going to be smart, right? So that's one of the things that, as a function of oversight, I will look into that with the Department of Education as well as the DSWD, that it's being implemented properly.
Senator Poe, we are entering the last 3 years of the Duterte administration. It's a very interesting time. We have a president who has very, very high approval ratings, 85% according to Pulse Asia in its late June survey. I think, what is it, 1,200 plus adults surveyed nationwide. And then you have a Senate and a House that is dominated by his party mates and or his allies. What are we looking at in terms of a legislature in the last 3 years of the Duterte administration?
What legislation?
What kind of legislature? The kind of the Senate? Speak na lang for the Senate, no?
I think, you know what? If we look back in history also, during the time of President Noynoy, he also had both houses. The majority in both houses, and quite a popular president. I think that the president is getting at 85% now. President Noynoy at the time, this quarter is about 70+%. So of course now there's like a substantial increase in popularity. But it's important that the president has the mandate of the people. As the Senate President said, we will be a cooperative body, but we will remain vigilant. And I hope that his leadership will really bring us in that particular mindset in the Senate. But, being fair to the President, he signed many bills into law. The universal health care, free tuition, free lunch program. But maybe the question lingers on the West Philippine Sea and our sovereignty. That's one of the concerns of our countrymen, how we will assert independence with the situation there, and how are we going to aid our fishermen. If the President gives them fishing rights, obviously they will outweigh us when it comes to manpower, technology, etc. How can we compete with them? Diba? So these are one of the things I hope the President will also address.
When you say you hope the President will address, are you saying that you hope that he will announce that I'm taking back what I said. I'm not giving China fishing rights in the West?
No, not necessarily that way. Maybe the President can say, we'll give free maritime access to our neighbors, but within certain parameters, like no commercial vessels of this size, because how will our small fishermen compete with them? So these are a few things that maybe the President can discuss.
Senator Grace Poe, thank you very much for joining us this afternoon. Maraming salamat po, ma'am.